I was just going to watch Fiona. Right.
Careful. There you go. So we're just having a little sit here, waiting for our Friday night weekly lockdown webinar to start. We love this time of the week, although Phil is cursing me that we said it would be 7 p.m. on a Friday every night, because, you know, who's in a good state by then? I have already this evening dropped bits of olive all over my keyboard. I've been eating these. Very nice. But I'm dropping bits of olive on my keyboard. It's got oil on and all sorts.
So the next pandemic, Nicole, we'll have Wednesday afternoons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. That's much more civilized. I prefer that.
I think so.
Never mind. Anyway, I hope you've all got a glass of something, cup of tea, whatever it is. It's that time of week. And it's really nice to be back here this week with two special guests and a not so special guest, just Phil Aird, the CEO of ESTA. You know, we're old hats at this, aren't we, Phil? Sorry.
We are.
Yeah. And Phil hasn't brought a little cuddly friend with him this week, which I'm a little bit.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, he has. Let's see, who's that? Who's this? Oh, he doesn't look very well.
This is Scruff, according to my daughter.
Oh, bless. Lovely. We've also got Fiona Robertson, who's a violin teacher and a would-be drummer, apparently, according to the drum set behind her. And Chris Haig, folk fiddler, who's going to be telling us later on what on earth is hanging on the wall behind him. So we're looking forward to that too. But first of all, perhaps we could kick off with speaking to Fiona. And perhaps you could tell us, Fiona, how have you been coping with lockdown? You've got lots of people to teach. What troubles have you had? How have you overcome them? It's a rather broad question.
Yeah, so the beginning of lockdown was a little bit scary for everyone, I think. It was like, how on earth do we do this? How does this work? What do I plug in here? What do I plug in there? What is this cable for? And all of this. So it now feels like a very long time ago and a huge learning curve for, I guess, a lot of people. And the mountain felt very, very high to climb. As it seems now, the mountain is quite beautiful and the summit seems perpetual. Because this is just going on. And my feeling is that we have to now embrace this and take this forward for ourselves and for the children that we teach, so that they can get something out of this that is worthwhile. And it seems to be working. There are people I've spoken to who it seems to be working as well.
Sorry, I was just going to say, what ways have you found to make it more interesting than perhaps I'm sure your lessons are fascinating, Fiona, but more than a normal lesson, to make it interesting because it's online? What little tricks have you employed?
Yeah, we've had a bit of screen sharing of music and downloading music. We've been using part play to play along with other people. The social element has been lost, obviously, and it's impossible to get us all together on one Zoom call because of the latency problems. So there's a concert I'm planning of getting people together so they can come along and just play anything they want to, whether it's a line of music, whether it's a scale, whether they could do something so they're just performing. And that will be evaluated by the student, or we can talk amongst ourselves. It depends who it is, really. And a question and answer game of sort of playing a phrase, somebody repeating it, seeing if we can do that. So you've got oral skills going on, and developing it that way.
You've also been doing some quizzes, I believe.
Yeah, there's a great website called quizzes.com, and you can make it a sort of multiple choice. So it can be like, what's the lowest string on the violin? G, D, A, E. For those beginners. And things like that. It makes it more fun, so it's not just sort of answering a question. You can have it so that you're sharing that with each other, or it can just be, that it just comes back to you. There's theory sheets, putting those out there so that, they can share those as well. We try and get a Google file or a OneDrive for them so that they can just put all their work into one folder. If I need to send the music, that goes into there. If I send them theory, that goes into there. Part of this has also been looking after the parents, because parents are getting hundreds of emails. So me sending, 7 attachments of pictures of bow hold and how to hold your violin and how to set up a Zoom call and things like that just wasn't working. So, they're missing those attachments really.
Yeah. I just, in case anyone's wondering, that quizzes that Fiona just mentioned is spelled QUIZZIZ, quizzes.com. That sounds like great fun, especially perhaps for the younger children. I mean, I have two children who are 9 and 11, and the 11-year-old already is much better at dealing with the online, whereas the 9-year-old, things like quizzes and polls and things like that really, really help that interaction. They love that interaction, don't they?
Yes.
Can I ask Fiona? So all this sort of general musicianship is around the lesson. So how much extra time does that take you to prepare and to deliver?
Yeah, obviously it takes extra time, but that could be your time travelling to the school or travelling between schools or something like that. Generally in the lessons I give, a half-hour lesson with, so that will take 45 minutes. The extra 15 minutes is taken up for technical issues. If something's happened, then we just go a little bit longer, so they're getting a full half hour. If not, then I'm jotting down notes, and that goes into a file and typed up with all the resources sent each week for them for the following week, and they're told what they're doing the following week, so they've got a clear lesson objective for the following week.
Yeah. I'm very impressed as well, Fiona, that you've done little videos on how to change a string.
Oh gosh,
yes. That's a real headache, isn't it, if somebody's string breaks?
Yes, that had to be done really, because I'm sure other people have experienced this. Mum gets the violin, starts turning it like this, and before I can shout, stop, it's gone. I can see the string up in the air, so... And then she just said, I'm sorry, I can't cope with this, and she left. So, and that was the end of the lesson. So Dad came on, and I talked him through it, and then realised that actually, parents could do with this as a resource for them as well.
Yeah, perhaps you could share that with us. I could do with passing that on to some of my students. I think it's very good you've made a video of that. Fantastic.
But tuning as well, sort of sitting there going up a bit, down a bit, go back up again. Just down a bit, just try and go.
Oh, I see. So what I do is I'm there going like this.
Yes, and then like that.
In fact, interestingly, one of my students actually got better at tuning his violin.
Yes.
From doing that. It's interesting, isn't it, how different children and students of any age, some of them really take to this online. I found that some of my students, not all of them, but some of them have really come on leaps and bounds. They're having to concentrate that much more. And sort of, me going like this and then thinking of that corresponds with me turning the adjuster this way. Yes. Things like that, which before they were just like, it's quite interesting, I thought. Naming no names, if any of my students are watching.
So when you're teaching online compared to when you were face-to-face, do you find it far more exhausting with the online teaching because it's so focused and concentrated?
Absolutely. I mean, with I have a microphone, so I'm not sort of tied to the computer. I can actually stand up, and but that's a recent thing. But just the back-breaking thing of looking into a screen. I've now got my laptop lifted up so that I'm not. I can just look ahead. It's just little things like that you never would have thought that you needed to do all this, and it develops. But yes, it is exhausting, and I think for the children as well, it is so much more focused.
I think it's really, I always schedule 15 minutes in between each lesson. Sounds like you do as well, Fiona. Yeah. It's so important to me. It may take me longer to do the lesson, but like you say, you're not spending that time traveling. And then if someone does have a trouble getting online, at least you're not panicking, thinking, oh, this is their lesson, their parents are going to get fed up because they haven't had the full lesson. Mm-hmm. And then also I try and always get up and go and make myself a cup of tea, because when you're teaching normally in a room, you will get up and down from your chair. You will move around naturally to just point at something or demonstrate something, and you end up like this if you're not really careful, don't you?
Absolutely, yes. Or you're in a small space, so you've got the piano here, you've got your violin here, and you're sort of like this and trying to It's quite funny, really.
Yeah. Thank you, Fiona. That's great. So our second guest tonight is Chris Haig. Hi, Chris. First of all, please do explain what your ears tonight are on the
My
wall.
ears, yes. So I have a small collection of strange upside down fiddles hanging on various walls around the house. And this one here is called a Black Sea fiddle. It's from the Black Sea. It's also called a Comanche. It has 3 strings tuned in fourths. It's almost possible to play, unlike most of my other instruments. But it's not tuned, so I'm not going to attempt it now. The other one, I'm going to show you the head. It's got a lovely eagle's head at the top, and that is a Serbian instrument. And in fact, this instrument was borrowed by the National Theatre for a tour of something or other. They scoured the country for this thing which is called a Serbian gusli, and this was the only one available in the country.
Amazing.
It's got 1 string. It's played upside down like a cello, so you just do a drone, and it's used for singing nationalistic songs about the glory of Serbia, which last for half an hour at a time, just with the 1 note on the gusli.
Right, so you just play 1 note.
You just play the 1 note, yeah. So it's kind of a drone. And I don't know if you remember Slobodan Milosevic. He played one of these. He was in hiding for years, and he was discovered in a pub in Serbia, playing one of these things, singing songs about the glory of his own rule.
Oh my God, it's like that thing, he played one of these, and look what happened to him.
This was in the Guardian, this story, so I almost believe it. It's a good story.
Fantastic.
And, again, I've never attempted to play this, so I can't say what it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried for you now to play it. Maybe just leave it on the wall.
I think I'll leave it on the wall, yes.
Okay. Now Chris is here because Chris is going to be joining us for our CPD sessions from the 10th to the 12th of June. If you're an ESTA member, you can apply for a bursary. Phil, how do we apply for the bursary?
It's all on the website. If you're an ESTA member, just go to the website, click on bursaries. Please, they're all there waiting. Just
there you go. It's a total bargain. If you've got a bursary, I mean, it's a bargain anyway, but if you've got a bursary, it's a real bargain. And then you can join us for 3 days of fun and games. You can book some of the sessions, none of the sessions, all of the sessions, but definitely recommend booking Chris's folk fiddle session, folk strings session on the Friday on the 12th in the evening, 7 o'clock, I think. And Chris, talk us through what's going to be happening in that session.
So to a person who plays classical music, who doesn't know much about folk is kind of one thing. It's like to me, rap is one thing. It's the thing that I turn off. But folk is just one thing to an outsider. It's sometimes called diddly-eye music, which is kind of, it's all the same. So, but to me, who's spent about 40 years studying folk is a million things. It's so many different interesting things. So I'm going to try and show to a classical player what the variety of folk is, what it involves, how it's different, how fascinating it is, and also how it's not as easy as you think, because classical players tend to think, okay, I've noticed they play in first position all of the time. I've noticed that a tune doesn't last more than 32 bars. How difficult can this be? And then if a classical player, let's say the leader of the LSO, picks up his violin, picks up a book with an Irish tune written in it and tries playing it, if there's 20 Irish players sitting in that room watching, they will burst out laughing because he may be the best violin player in London, but when he tries to read that music, he has no idea what he's doing, because folk is a completely different discipline.
So we don't get that personally, Roman Simovic, okay. So will you be teaching us to play folk?
I will be running you through 4 different tunes. The first one, an Irish polka, and this tune you're going to learn by ear, because one of the things about classical musicians is they entirely rely on what's written in front of them, and that's great because it means you can play it straight away, but it also means you switch down every other part of your brain apart from the bit that picks up the notes that are written. And you lose the meaning of the tune as soon as you do that. So I'm going to teach you a very simple tune that you can learn by ear, and it gives you a sort of an insight into the way that the music actually works and the way that people think about the music. Because it's not music that's meant to be written down. The writing down is just a shortcut for teaching other people. But most people learn folk music just by ear. And when you do that, you pick up a whole load of stuff that's not written down.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the first tune. Second tune I'm going to play is a very strange tune from Scotland, and it's a tune in a very unusual mode, and it's almost unique, and it kind of shows how different folk tunes can be. It's a very beautiful tune. It's a tune that kind of never settles, because that's one of the things about modal music is, it doesn't follow the usual rules. So I'm going to show you that tune. I'm going to show you a klezmer tune, klezmer being the Jewish dance music. And I had planned that we would do this. It's one of the tunes that you can sing and play at the same time. And when you get 50 people playing and singing one of these tunes, then it sounds fantastic. And one thing is, you only need one word to sing these tunes. The different Jewish tribes have different words. So for some people it's da 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 da, whereas for others it's la 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 la, or yo 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 yo. So, but we're not going to do that because you can't do that together. You wouldn't get the it's the thrill of all the voices together. So we're just going to play the tune, but not do the singing, which is a shame. And then finally, we're going to do a Bulgarian tune. And the thrill of Bulgarian music is the strange time signatures. And many of you will have seen the thing on Facebook where there's a little piece of music, it's in 13/8, and it says, "These are difficult times."
Very funny.
Obviously, you haven't seen that, but when I saw that, I thought, yes, or these are challenging times, or whatever. But that's what the final one is. So the beauty of that is to be able to actually find the groove of a 13/8 tune.
Blimey. Bit of math for a Friday night there. Go on, Phil.
Yeah, Chris,
Yeah.
if you're a cellist or a bass player or a violist, can you still rock up to these sessions?
You certainly can. I will. Most of it, I think, we'll be able to do unison. Some of it, I might try and split the parts a bit, so that as I'm playing melody, you could be trying to play a rhythm part or a bass part. Yeah, but I will certainly bear in mind that we have not only violinists among us.
Fantastic. And I believe, Chris Haig, you are now a YouTube sensation, or will be very shortly.
I am a YouTuber. I had some good fortune a week before lockdown. I was having a rehearsal, and the guitarist in the band told us all about his YouTube channel. And he said, guess what, guys? I made £2,000 last month from my YouTube channel, from advertising on the YouTube channel. And I thought, what? I didn't know you could do that. And so the way it works, when you've got 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours on your YouTube channel, then YouTube will start placing adverts on your videos, and you will start earning money. And I thought, yes, that's a nice way to earn money. And so I haven't been teaching at all. I haven't been gigging, obviously, but I have been churning out at a vast rate teaching videos, fiddle videos. And I called my channel the Fiddle Channel because amazingly that name wasn't taken.
Yeah.
And it's going very well. I'm over halfway to my target already. And people love the videos, and I love making them. It's just such fun.
And so will these videos be the sort of thing that people can share with their students?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just take a look at the Fiddle Channel, and you'll see it's mostly for it's stuff in different styles. So we've got bluegrass and old time and western swing and jazz and blues and folk, Irish. and there's also some what I pompously call mini documentaries, which are about different aspects of folk music. And basically, I narrate a story that I've written, and there's a load of pictures which kind of tell the story. And it's like being a BBC documentary, but without a budget and with only one person. And that's a lot of fun as well.
That's brilliant. I think you've got 3 extra subscribers.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's really good. Yes.
Definitely.
I post a lot of these videos on the ESTA Facebook page. You probably have seen them.
Yeah.
So just check out the channel and you'll see there's already, I think there's about 40 videos already. So I'm sure you'll find something that's of interest.
Gosh, you have been really busy, Chris. Well
I
done.
have, yeah.
Very good. Lovely. Now, thank you so much for that, Chris. Phil, what ESTA news? There's exciting ESTA news today.
Well, there's always exciting ESTA news.
Always.
Nicole, let me think. So next week's presenters, we've got Hazel Veach, who's a viola player and a member of the Porto Symphony Orchestra. And she's also part of the organising committee for the ESTA Portugal, their international conference, which was sadly, because of COVID, postponed. It was due to take place in April. They're looking at putting it on in the autumn. And they've been having these really amazing sort of Saturday night chats. Because the Friday night slot was already taken.
Already taken, yes.
Saturday night chats, and it's been really interesting because all the presenters who are going to talk in April are now on the panel for these weekly chats. So Hazel's coming over because to chat to us, because obviously Portugal are dealing with the crisis in their own way, and I think it's just interesting to see what the schools are doing, because they've just gone back this week. So it'd be really interesting to hear how they're coping with that. What else is new? Steve Bingham, our lovely editor and membership secretary, is launching the first online Jester magazine, which will be coming out next week. So that's great. So it was something we've been meaning to do for a while, but events have sort of overtaken us. So here we are. So I think that'll be out Monday, Tuesday. So watch out for that. How's that for some interesting news, Nicole?
I'm very impressed, Phil. Very impressed indeed. Lovely. Fantastic. Okay, lovely. Well, it's been lovely to see you all again. Well, I mean, we don't see you, but we get lovely messages in. We've had so many nice messages from people saying how grateful they are that we're doing these webinars. I have to say, we're having a hoot doing them. It's really nice. So nice to meet so many different teachers and pedagogues and people in the music business. So please, if you're happy what we're doing, let us know. If there's something else you'd like to be covered, please let us know as well. And we will see you next Friday with Hazel and Phil and myself, and perhaps another mystery guest. Phil, perhaps, maybe.
But there's something else though, isn't there, Nicole?
Is there?
Yeah.
Thing is, what's the other thing? Oh yes. How could I forget? We're going to be played out this evening. Unfortunately, I don't have a dimmer button, and I feel really uncomfortable about this. Chris is going to play us out with some music, but at some point, I'm going to have to press stop. That feels really wrong. So, Chris, I'm going to leave you to play, and I'm going to let you finish properly, because I can't do that. It's against every musical bone in my body.
That's very kind of you.
So don't go on too long, because you know my wine glass is empty.
It's 64 bars.
It's lovely to hear you. And
this is a tune called Made Behind the Bar, and it's something sadly I've seen very little of in the past few weeks.
Thank you, Chris, and good night, everybody. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.